So now our topic of discussion here is head injury. Very important topic. I will take it from the basic points. So I will start with scalp, right? So before starting, I will like to tell that it is a very important topic, and here we will discuss about the anatomy of the scalp-based fractures, the NICE guidelines for CT, brain injury, the subarachnoid hemorrhage, EDH, HDH, goals of treatment, Glasgow outcomes score, brain death, everything we will be covering, right? So before starting, I will like to mention here one important line, that head trauma is the leading cause of mortality. Head trauma is the leading cause of mortality in patient of trauma. Means in trauma cases, head trauma is the leading cause of mortality or leading cause of death. So with this, I will like to start head injury, starting from the scalp. So as you see here, that's with the name itself, we can identify the layers of the scalp from above down. So first is skin, then there is connective tissue, right? With the name skin, connective tissue. Then there is aponeurosis, then loose areolar tissue, and periosteum. These are the 5 layers of the scalp. Now we will look at each layers. I will discuss in this video only about the different layers and their importance. So skin, of course, and regarding connective tissue, in connective tissue there are like this, there are fibrous septae. So if laceration occurs, the vessel don't constrict, so there remains profuse bleeding. What I told is that in in connective tissue there are fibrous septae. So if any laceration occurs, the vessels don't vasoconstrict easily, right? It remain dilated because the fibrous septae have gap. As you can see, the vessels remain dilated, it don't vasoconstrict easily, so there is profuse bleeding. So how will you manage in such case? If it is an emergency, we will apply field pressure over the area which is bleeding, and in definitive cases we will apply sutures or silk nylon 110 or cutting needle sutures, right? So it will heal within 5 to 7 days, right? Because there is enormous blood supply in our scalp, in our face, right? From external carotid artery, internal carotid artery, we know. Now talking about next layer, aponeurosis. So this layer is importance, like if this layer bleeds, in case of subaponeurotic bleeding, what I am trying to mention, there is black eyes or raccoon eyes. We will see in our future slides. So black eyes or raccoon eyes in case of subaponeurotic bleeding. Now we'll talk about loose areolar tissue. See, this has importance, like it can transmit retrograde infections via emissary veins, right? Leading to cavernous sinus thrombosis as well. So this is the importance of it. Next layer is periosteum. So periosteal layer importance is mainly in skull fracture. So skull fracture, if periosteum is involved, that means it's skull fracture is most likely. So if it is skull fracture will be of two types, non-depressed or depressed. In case of non-depressed, we will go for conservative management, and depressed, we have to go for surgeries if there is focal neurological signs or the depression is more than adjacent skull thickness, right? So I will write the important topics for you in case you have missed, right? I will try to write it in short. So okay, one second. Yes, so that what I mentioned is scalp, right? So for skin, we know, so we will eliminate this portion and we will talk about the remaining sections. Now C for connective tissue. What I mentioned, there is fibrous septae, and you can say there are gaps in between the septae. So in case of laceration, the vessels don't vasoconstrict easily, so there remains bleeding, profuse bleeding. So in case of emergency, Okay, in case of emergency, we will apply field pressure. In case of definitive procedures, we will apply sutures. Suture will be silk or nylon 110 suture, cutting needle suture, and it will heal within 5 to 7 days because of enormous blood supply in face and scalp. Next, we talked about aponeurosis layer. So I talked that in case of subaponeurotic bleeding, we will see raccoon eyes or black eyes, right? Next, we talked about the layer loose areolar tissue. So I told that its importance is it can transmit retrograde infection via emissary vein, leading to cavernous sinus thrombosis. CVST is cavernous sinus thrombosis. Next, we talked about periosteal layer. So it is involved in skull fracture, and skull fracture is depressed and non-depressed. For non-depressed, there is conservative management, right? And for depressed skull fracture, we can give antibiotics, we can give surgery as per requirement. When we will give surgery in skull fracture, when there is focal neurological deficit or skull is depressed more than the adjacent skull, right? That part of the skull which is fractured is depressed more than the adjacent skull thickness. Then we can proceed for surgery. So in next topic, I will discuss about the skull base fractures and what are their characteristics, right? So we will see in our next video, right?